Hi everybody, Russ from the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well, my friends. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new and dear, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Become a channel member. Moving into ASMR, hope you enjoy it. Monday again, innit? What's going on? These weeks, but it's a short week. Got 2 short weeks, haven't we? Got Easter for those of us in the UK. Sorry for anyone outside the UK. But obviously Good Friday, so, 4-day week. And then Easter Monday, so 4-day week. But we're entering quite a tricky and season-defining week, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's a season-defining week. So we've got some interesting news. Obviously, we played Brentford. I've forgotten about the game. Do you know, I've forgotten about it. I was going to do a West Ham match day debrief, but I thought, let's just crack on. Let's just crack on because I think it's important to just... We just can't cope, can we? We just can't cope at the moment for having these midweek games and like the Thursday, Sunday. We just don't cope at all. Anyway, we've got obviously Lyon. We've got Lyon on Thursday, and what I'm going to do is let me go a quick look for the chat, and then we'll talk about what's been happening. So obviously we played Brentford. They played Strasbourg yesterday, and interesting in terms of possible team selections for us and for them. Who would have thought the same players every game would cause... Unbelievable, Bonnie, innit? So do we indeed. We do indeed, Ray. If Zoom was injured, I would take penalties. You personally, Bonnie, or are you saying you would take the game to penalties? If it's impressive, Luke, we'll talk about that in a minute. Moyes admitted he had a chance of signing Ericsson. If the doc said he was okay, there was no brainer to sign him, but Moyes probably would have liked to see him play 10 times in person first. They will still cheat their way to the semis, no doubt. We can't score, and that is our problem. You watch the 300 players make a miraculous recovery. If Zuma is out, then there has to be Diop and Dawson or play a 3 with Cresswell. Cresswell's obviously suspended, so he can't play as third centre-back. Any news on Zuma? We'll give that in a minute. Cresswell is banned. He is indeed. Darren, good evening from Thailand. Hope you're well, my friend. Can I just mark your card as well? Tomorrow night we're having another appreciation night. I haven't even done the banner yet. I'm so behind. But we've got another appreciation night. We had a Julian Dix one. Was it the week before last? And we've got a very special one tomorrow night. It would have marked his 81st birthday. We are doing a Bobby Moore appreciation night tomorrow night, 9:00 in the UK, with Martin and with Nigel, and it's going to be amazing. So make sure you check that out. It's going to be really interesting. Obviously, I don't know anything really, in all honesty, about Bobby Moore, so it's going to be really interesting to see and listen and see. Martin's done a great little highlights package and things like that, so and obviously we'll be talking about his career, so make sure you check that out. Irons indeed. Freema, good afternoon, hope you're well. Cyber's in the house, hope you're well. I'm flying out to Milan from City Airport, good luck to you. Mama Cox, it's obviously Easter holidays, so Mama's on the wine. Are you back from your cruise? There was all the Cox family were cruise. I love a cruise. I'll be honest, I do love a cruise. And I noticed that the Cox family were all on a cruise. Seem to be stuck in Holland for quite a long time. Anyway, in my opinion. Hope it went well. Wally, hope you're well. Set of poor ratings, but I'm not going to even bother today. Not going to bother. Let's move on. So Cyber is flying to Milan and then renting a car to Lyon. Fair play to you, Cyber. We'll also have, hopefully, on the Wednesday when we do the preview for the Lyon game, Martin and John Matomsky will be out there. So we'll be there. They're like our roving reporters. So they'll be out there and we'll get a feel of the place as well. So for those of us who aren't lucky enough to go, you still get a bit of like you're out there. That Brentford. just gone, just gone. It's Ramadan today. Is it Ramadan today? Happy Ramadan, man. I would rather have taken the 2 losses with the youngsters than playing and saved our team. Yeah, and it seemed that Lyon did sort of played a bit of a scratch team out yesterday, but with their sort of, we'll talk about that tick. Jazza, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to appeal the update. No, I think the trouble is, and we sort of we mentioned it on Friday. I think with particularly UEFA, because they handpick the referees. I think if you appealed it, they might see it's a frivolous appeal, and they might even extend it longer. So the season demands are not taking its toll, and we are in danger of walking away with nothing but a place of hard luck story, as Moyes will not rest key players. Yeah, it's very true, Mandy. Very, very true. Yep, no appeal net indeed. We lost to Brentford at home. What makes think we can beat them away? No, I totally agree. Dangerous in the house. Paul's here. It's Thursday or bust. It is, mate. It's Thursday or bust, man. P. Gads, hope you're well. Afternoon. Everyone's in the house. Brilliant. Mumba Cox, home now in Rotterdam for 3 days due to bad weather. 6 is still possible despite yesterday's non-performance. But I think isn't it? I think it's all about Thursday. It's Thursday or bust now, isn't it? In all honesty, Thursday or bust. If after Thursday, we've got half a dozen games, and so yeah, half a dozen games, and we'll have Burnley on the Sunday, and then we crack on. Don't forget we still got to play Arsenal as well at home and City at home as well. So there's still plenty of points to go for. Would we have been similarly knackered last season if we hadn't had Lingard? I think we would have. I think we would have actually, to be honest. I'm just letting everyone talk to each other. Everyone seems to be talking to each other. It's lovely to see. One of the worst performances ever, says Peter. At least we've taken a thrashing. We've created some chances. Yeah, it wasn't very good. I know they say you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, but I think it's time to focus on the Europa League. Would love to get top 6 in the league, but we're looking too tired. I still think top 6 is on. Top 6 is on, I think. I think United are on 3-4 as well. So we'll see. We'll see. Right, let's crack on. So obviously, in terms of what's going on, on Thursday, we know that Aaron Cresswell is obviously suspended. Obviously, with 4 days left, 4 days until our sort of, we know it's the quarter-final second leg of Lyon. Both teams seem to have a bit of an injury crisis, and perhaps Lyon may be a bit worse off. Who knows? We already know that, sadly, Cresswell suspended, having picked up a red card for his challenge against Dembele towards the end of the first half of the first match. Yesterday's match versus Brentford saw obviously Kurt get injured, and he is to undergo a scan today, apparently, to check the extent of the ankle injury. The defender was forced off early in the first half against Brentford, as you know. What looks like a twisted ankle. It's believed he's rated 50-50. At the moment, but that's before we've seen the scan. So 50-50 at the moment for Thursday, apparently. But another player who might not feature is Mr. Ben Johnson, who's doubtful with his hamstring again. He's still suffering from a hamstring injury, a tight one. He had a tight one when he came back from England and under 21 duty, and it seems to be a bit tight again. Obviously, missing Zuma will be a huge blow for us, but we know that Diop likely will be deputising for him. With Cresswell, however, Johnson obviously would have been a natural left-sided replacement for that left-back slot. But with him doubtful, I think Moyes is going to have to shuffle the pack a little bit. Mr. Masuaku could come in. I'm sure everyone will be happy for that. But it could mean that maybe Soufal is moved, and he has played left back. Maybe he's put left back, and then Ryan Fredericks has put right back. Who knows? But at the moment, he's doubtful, so we'll see what happens. Yes, so that's not good. But where we lost to Brentford, Lyon were fortunate to come away with a draw, equalising in the 90th minute against Strasbourg yesterday. But it's not the result they wanted, because they're now 10 points clear of 10 points behind, I believe, 4th spot. But they've had some serious injuries in terms of players going off. We already know that now. Freshfield always tells me how to pronounce this. Kakare, I think I'm right there. Kakare, we know he's out, definitely, and the likelihood is he could well be out for, he was pictured last week in a hospital bed, so the likelihood is out for a prolonged period of time, with the club having to sort of do some rejigging to make sure it all works. But yesterday, Lopez was injured, He got injured. I think about the 30th minute. He was taken off and replaced by, what was the lad's name? I remember I had it written down. Where's the lad's name gone? Julian Polersbeck. Julian Polersbeck replaced him on the 30th minute. Obviously, he's their goalkeeper, their talisman goalkeeper, and so that could be a huge blow to them. Huge blow to them potentially, particularly people talk about penalties. He's so that's one chink of light maybe, but he and the expression in his face doesn't look good. Also, that's not a very good picture. But Hussein Aouari, he was injured. He went off injured as well, and again wincing as he walked off the pitch. He was walked off rather than necessarily helped off, so to speak. And so he's in. So he went off injured. And also towards the end of the game, another substitution was Moussa Dembele was apparently not Moussa Dembele. Ndombele was injured as well and went off injured towards the end of the game. So with Kakare as well, that's 4 players. And also on top of that, I know I do apologise for the quality of that picture. It was a very small picture. I do apologise. And also Thiago Mendes had a knock from our game on the Thursday and didn't play and was rested. So that even could be another potential injury issue there for Lyon. So we'll see what happens. So yes, they got the draw. They came back from 1-0 down, but 3 players potentially could be out. So we shall see what happens there. Let's have a look in the chat, see what people think. Let's go right up a little bit. Although the backup keeper played 12 games without conceding, he was rated the worst goalkeeper by Kicker Sports magazine in 2012. There we go. You see, Jazza knows. Has the brown envelope been delivered to the ref in time for Thursday? Well, it'll be a different referee, hopefully, of course, won't it? So that'll be good. 50-50, it means 3 months out knowing WESTHAM. Well, that's the thing. The scan will hopefully show. If it's, we've had issues before. We've shown scans and nothing's happened because it's been an impact injury rather than a fracture or something, which you can see in an X-ray. In a scan. So let's see what happens when he comes back. So yes, we'll see. I mean, he wasn't in the squad yesterday, was he? And it was bleeding. It was a recurrence of his hamstring injury. So let's see what happens. Dembele has recovered from that horrific red card. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Any chance Oggy can play? No, I think Oggy will not be featured maybe until the end of this month at the earliest is the diagnosis. But that's still like 3 or 4 months earlier than they thought they was going to be, to be honest. Those that want to see Under 21s might get their wish soon. Indeed. Well, the Under 21s, did they play today? Or are they playing today or tomorrow? It's on the West Ham official channel. Masuaku, could get your money on a Lyon win. No, it's Thursday or bust. This week, Brentford and Burnley is shit or bust. Losing to Brentford and Burnley would end European. But yeah, you're totally right, mate. You're totally right, Horace. RJS100. If only we had Andy Carroll. He couldn't play centre-back, though, could he? As well as injury, Sunday must have been disillusioning for the likes of Rice, Souček and Antonio, watching our levels drop. Well, I think it was just one of... But it's the same... We had the same issue at the Tottenham game, didn't we? Our levels dropped and Tottenham were very good. I don't think Brentford needs to get out 3rd or 4th gear, to be honest, yesterday. We just looked... For me, it looked like our minds were on Thursday. And for me, I can't... as a player, that's the biggest game they're ever going to... For a lot of them, are going to play. Probably... Well, it's the biggest game. I mean, for example, someone like Aaron Cresswell, who obviously can't play on Thursday. That's the biggest game of his career, isn't it? In all likelihood. And for a lot of players, it will be. People like Craig Dawson. People like... Ryan Fredericks, people like Declan at the moment, Antonio, these guys, Bowen, these guys will be the biggest game they've played in their professional career. Not for country, obviously Deck played in a final, but for their team. So for me, I could easily see that, they just didn't look, Antonio just didn't look bothered. It was awful to see, but I just don't know why. It was just like, there was like no zip, was there? No zip at all. But we'll see. 3 at the back, Dawson, Diop and Sufa. I don't think we need 3 at the back, James, in all honesty. Although they play sort of, Tete started yesterday but went off. Kolo Kamambi, he started on the left. Dembele started up front. So I reckon you could see that 3 maybe starting on on Thursday. So maybe you want to play, I don't know. It's pace that worries me. With left back, and so with Johnson, at least he's got a bit of pace where Soufal hasn't got a bit of pace. And the only time Soufal's really been found out has been when he's been up against serious pace. I remember Watford last season at home, he was taught a new one by Sarr, and also Liverpool as well. When he's up against a Mane or something like that, and obviously Tete's rapid. So if they start with Tete against Soufal, it's going to be a massacre down that left side, unless they incorporate maybe Fornals playing on that left. You know, it was always like maybe even you're right, maybe even going back to a back three, and then maybe Soufal and Fornals playing as that sort of left wing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, mate. It's going to be interesting. Afternoon, Cryby. Well. Can't cry, he can, so can Declan Rice. The bearer of good news. Welcome back, Jake. We've mentioned him. Afternoon, Carino, hope you're well. Good afternoon, Simon. Andy Cow is... Did he score for West Brom as well this weekend or something? Yeah. I miss Jake and Matty doing the reviews. Yeah, we'll try and get them back to do the reviews. Jake's a big, Jake's a big meat. He's doing things on his own. You see, he doesn't want to these little challenges. He's not bothered about now. The genius of Moyes having 4 keepers comes to fruition as we find out more depth than any team in one area. There we go. Could even be a worse ref? You might know. You can see Tete being their best. I mean, he's a good player, isn't he? What keeper would you play up front with 5 minutes left and Antonio injured? Oh, you've got to put Ariola up front, surely. Ken Johnson plays centre back. He can. He plays on the right of a back three as well. But again, it depends if he's going to be fit or not, so we don't know. Can anyone tell me when Ndombele is really injured? He spends half the match rolling around on the floor when he's fit. Their traders must have been really unsure whether to help him out or not. Exactly. It's very true. But as I said, he apparently went off injured as well. And reading reports... where the others were substitutions, him, because I think they've got 5 subs in Liga. So him, Aurora and Lopez all went off as injury substitutes by all accounts. And like my dreams, they fade and die. Indeed, they've still got Tete, the new signing, thanks to Premier League. Thank you, Premier League. Indeed. Now it's about 8 minutes, which was somehow added on in the first leg. Well, I mean, 4 of them were probably the pitch invasion as well. Then it's 30 seconds a sub as well. So that's probably about right, to be honest, Jazza, to be fair. Fredericks will cope at centre-back. He has the pace, of course, but can he defend? No. Football team would have beaten us yesterday. Russ, I think the lack of signings has hurt us. We know the lack of signings, GP, innit? We know the lack of signings in January have hurt us. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that yet until the summer. So for me... it's sort of like we know that's the case, but we can't do anything about it. Moyes knows more than anything. I mean, he's not like he's blind to it. He knows his head's up against it, and the fact that he knows that he likes his small squad, and he's proven that he doesn't work. He can't work. You can't compete on all these fronts with such a small squad, or not blood through on 23s. So we can all see it, and he's been in the football game for how many years? So and he's fully aware of it. He's fully aware, and he said it, in press conferences. He's fully aware of it. But then the flip side is, if you're not going to invest, then you should be blooding through the under 23s, because then, but that hasn't been the case. So now he's relying on these 12 players, 13 players, 14 players. And that's the issue. But again, he must know that. It's not just him. He's got lots of footballing heads around him. He's got the likes of Piercy and Nolan and McGinley, and he's still got Alan Irvine as an advisor. He's got feeling. He's got these guys around him. So it's there's no point me complaining about the lack of signings now in January, because it's happened and we can't sign anyone until the 1st of June or something like that. So, innit, let's just move on, man. I accept defeat Manoa for it. No, I totally agree. I think we have to go to Lyon with a different tactic. Last time we barely had the ball or any chances in London. It'd be interesting to see what Lyon will come back and do, because it's their gaff. And I think you've seen that in a lot. You look at every tie is still, it can go in any way in this Europa League. Braga won up against Rangers, but that's it. It's 1-0. We've seen you can turn that around against arguably the best team in the Europa League in terms of Sevilla, in terms of form as well. Now, all the other games, including ours, is a draw, and it's still a draw. It's just 1-1. It's half time, and it's a draw. And obviously away goals don't count, so that's benefited us there in that respect. So, and it's benefited Barcelona away to. Well, it's benefited Frankfurt really, but obviously they went down to 10 men as well. Then obviously Barcelona scored. So and Atalanta still won. So there's every game. There's still something to play for. So. Thursday's going to be amazing, I think. Really interesting, not just for our game, but for all the games, really. How about must Ashby feel when he couldn't get on the bench when everyone at right back was hurt? That's the thing that surprises me, but we'll see. To be fair, the Brentford said about Antonio, nothing. And again, someone like Antonio, they're training against with Ivan Toney, and Ivan Toney's a unit anyway, so they're going to be used to playing against him. That's what I mean. There's certain times where I wouldn't play Antonio. Just because he's fit, don't mean play him. And Brentford... They used to playing with a big lad, training with a big lad every day, so they know how to handle bulky defenders. Roomies Rob was asked, did he fancy a Danish? And he said, I've got one. One Greg's, we missed out on Ericsson. Very good. I think Kimbo, hope you are well. Aua. That sounds like from Shooting Stars. Sharky, I'm very well coming back. Yes, we can. Of course we bloody can. We've done it before. We'll do it again. We'll do it before. Look at the Seville game, and was it 1-0 down, and the chips were down, and we came back and 1-2-1. Appreciate that was at home rather 2-0 rather. Appreciate that was at home rather than necessarily. It was at home rather than necessarily. It's a different dynamic, but of course we can. Of course we can. Lyon haven't lost in 10 games, or is it 10 games away from home as well? They're really good away from home and are more suspect at home. So let's just have a go, innit? Let's have a go. Come on, let's all get behind the boys. We've got 4 days. Really get behind the boys. None of this negativity about, lack of signings. We can talk about that in the summer, when we're doing a season review, but there's nothing we can do about it now. So let's all just club behind and see what we can do, because we've still got still plenty of Europa. We've got this Europa League. It's still in the tie. We've still got plenty of Premier League games to go to get points, and we can still have a good season. We can still have the end to a good season. Good season compared to what we usually used to have. Christ, if someone said to us at the beginning of the season we'd still be in Europe in April and we'd be sort of 6th, 7th, I'd have bitten your hand off. Even 2 years ago, even a year ago, we're almost through, we're in the quarterfinals. It's just the way it's happened, isn't it? If it came about where we were struggling and then we worked our way up to this position, everyone would say this is a good season. But because we were up there and we dropped our and then we're sort of in that area, that's where the issue, I think that's where the issue has come in. Because, I just don't want us to, because this is. The team is performing well. The team's a good team. What you think of some of that? I'm doing the Noble era at the moment, so I'm putting together all the old players, and some of the seasons that we've had in the last 18 years. There's been some dross. Looking at some of the players we played as well, some really shit players. This is a different side. And I think we've set the bar of expectations now, and so now the team has to deliver. And in the summer, the board and the team have to, in terms of recruitment, have to deliver that. We're at crossroads in the summer. So anyway, rant over. Thursday night gave me COVID. Should have been at work right now. There we go. Oh dear, hope you're feeling like Craig Bukaki Master. Vlasic has played the time equivalent of 5 games this season. Either he's awful or Moyes isn't rotating enough. Yeah, fair enough. Moyes has ruined Antonio by playing him when he's been out of form. We now rely on Bowen. I think you play him at the wrong time. The atmosphere at Lyon is going to be volatile. We'll see. Hopefully Boateng starts on Thursday. Yeah, be good. Moyes should have woke up a long time ago. Yeah, but what can we do about it now? We can't do nothing about it now, unfortunately. Lingard news has gone quiet. There was talk of him going to Italy. I'm just saying that. There was some stuff today about it. I think with Lyon putting all the eggs in the European basket will make them more nervous than us on Thursday. Great shout. That's a great shout, Neil, because they really are. For them, it's Europe and bust. They are expected to be in Europe every season, and they're 10th in the league. They're in a much more precarious position than we are in terms of our. We've just started this European journey, and the chances are we could next season still qualify for Europe in league position, whether it is Europa League, whether it's the Conference League. I don't really care. I just think it's important for us to keep being in Europe, and so they are literally in bust. If they get through, they're going to be shitting themselves on Thursday. Back to the wall, we're overcome indeed. Thoughts on Benrahma? I just didn't. The whole team lost the races, in my opinion. With the loss of the weekend, feels like everything is down Thursday. We're out of Europe. Our odds of getting next feel optimistic. I don't think so, Hybrid. I think in Europe, I think I still think there's. I think personally, I think the worst we'll get is 7th this season, just because in terms of how the teams and Man United are on free fall, and I think it's sort of. I still think there's a real chance of us getting into the top 6. I really do. Afternoon, happy Hammer. Hope you're well. We need to score at least 3 goals, as one won't be enough. We'll see. Everyone's talking to each other. Please don't bite my hand, Russ. Oh, I won't bite your hand. Precise news for me, please. How bad are the frogs suffering? Well, we went through it right at the beginning. So for those who just jumped in now, let's have a look. So we obviously we know Kakare is out, but Lopez went off injured yesterday. Their goalkeeper. He was replaced after 30 minutes by Pollersbeck, who apparently, someone said in the chat, has been declared the worst goalkeeper in League A, apparently, by Kicker magazine. So we'll see. Also, and that's meant to be Arua, Hussam Arua. It's a very poor picture, I admit, but he went off injured as well yesterday. And apparently Dembele's substitution was injured as well. And also Thiago Mendes didn't play yesterday because he had a knock from Thursday. So it could be at least 3. It could be at least 1 because Kakare is already out. But it could be 5. Really, that's not bad news, is it? Have to question Diop for both goals. I totally agree. Yes, there was a missed opportunity. Yeah, but I just think that. I think there's a place there that it just seems no one wants to, apart from Spurs. Fair play to Spurs. They are putting the games in now, and they're scoring goals, and I think they're the 3rd highest goal scorers in the league now. I think, and they're taking advantage of the games. Arsenal seem to not be able to take advantage. 1 win up, we're the same. We'll have a good win and a shit win, a good win and a shit. So are United. So I think the 5, 6, 7 places are all sort of a bit stacked up, and whoever puts in 3 or 4, performances, and we have to play Arsenal as well at home, and I fancy us obviously there. By the time maybe Man City have come through, they might have won the league by then, and it's Martin Oble's last game, so it's going to be a lot more of. So I think I don't think we'd beat City, but I reckon we could get a draw against City, and beat Arsenal definitely. They're very susceptible at the back, aren't they? Same as everyone, it seems, at the moment. Feeling dejected after travelling yesterday and seeing our performance. Rice looked as miserable. I think they all did, to be honest. Happy Emirate, to be honest. Lingard's going to polish Shearer's head. I think he might be going to. Well, the reports are that there's a number of Italian clubs interested about him as well. I'll take 7th in the Farmers League, so as long as we get some quality names come in the summer. No, I agree. And maybe with the Farmers League, so to speak, maybe that might be the opportunity to blood in the 23s at a European level. I don't know. Obviously, they did it for that last game, and I would have liked to see them done it a little bit more. But obviously, we were doing very well, and so it was like, okay, we'll keep doing this. And obviously, where we would have bloodied the under 23s in the earlier domestic cup games, unfortunately, we had really good opposition. So you don't want to, have a Nottingham Forest type thing where we put all the kids out and lose 5-0. Like famously Big Sam did. So. Yes. How would you line up Thursday, Russ? I think it all depends about injuries, isn't it, Adam, to be honest? I think we'll do a preview on Wednesday. Hopefully by then we'll have news about Zuma and we'll have the press conference from Moisey, so we'll have an idea of what's going to happen. But we'll see by then. Be careful, any fans who trap at home ends, they will have loads in there. They certainly will. Their fans are animals. Do you think Lyon are like a Real Madrid who usually turn up in Europe but play correct? Yep, totally. I mean, they got the most amount of points in the Europa League games group stages this year, didn't they? So I totally agree. think it was a walk out the stadium underground, and we were in a tight space. Feeling good though. Nothing Estella doesn't fix. Indeed, tough game, crowd and referee Thursday. Composure and clinical way. Clinical, that's a trouble. Clinical play. That's a trouble. If you're new, Andy, give it a like. There's a lot of new names I'm seeing today, which is great to see. And don't be afraid to give it a like and give it a comment afterwards. Just hit that little like button. Helps us out loads. So I appreciate all your time. The worst will finish is 7th to me. That would be disappointing. 6th would be brilliant. I think 7th would be disappointing in respect to the last 18 months. If 3 years ago I said to you, right, okay, so we're going to finish. So what's going to happen? Moyes going to come back in, and even 2.5 years ago, Moyes going to come back in. That season, we're going to finish. We're going to finish in the Europa League places. The following season, we're going to get up to the quarterfinals at least in the Europa League places. Plus, we're going to finish 7th next season. That season as well. You'd have gone, what's Russ on? But it's all about perspective, I think. And then you look at throughout our history how poorly we've performed in the leagues and stuff like that. A handful of times we finished in the top 6 ever in the top league, and so to do it potentially, if you finish 6th, do it potentially in consecutive years, that'd be great. I think I need to check out the 7th place, because I've got a feeling that might be the thing as well. Really worried about Thursday. Just feel our performances have dipped so much that Lyon may be a bridge too far. Maybe, but we'll see. It was in 2019 that I was in. Well, he's still a shit keeper. There we go. It's good. I'm really up in the air whether I renew my season tickets. I don't want to go as many games as I wanted to. Going through house renovation, which is swallowing my dough still. 60. Well, it's up to you, man. As you said, maybe not, and then you can dip and choose. But it's getting the tickets, isn't it? It's getting the tickets. There's so many season ticket holders now, isn't it? I'm also hoping Frankfurt beat Barcelona would be a much easier game. Forget wanting all the glamorous titles. I want West Ham to have the best opportunity to win the bloody thing. And if we do get Frankfurt, there's obviously Frankfurt in the semis. There's that sort of from 1975 Eintracht Frankfurt at Upton Park, that phenomenal game, and all the everybody who seemed to be there. So there is that sort of neutral for the fans, the old fans. They'd probably like that. But for the newer fans or the younger fans, it's about Barcelona. And so, but as you said, I mean, I also fancy Atalanta against Leipzig. I fancy Atalanta there. It'd be great if we played Atalanta in the final, because then we had the Betway Cup final at the beginning of the season. We beat them, and then we beat them in the Europa League final at the end. Sounds great. Peach in the house, like you well, Peach. Happy birthday to yesterday, Peach. 7th, if we don't beat Burnley, we have Chelsea and Arsenal to look forward to, and we are 2 points. Yeah, but then Wolves lost as well. Mandy, it's so everyone's losing. There's no one in form at the moment apart from maybe Spurs in that little group. I'll be honest. We're in for a shout. Then we'll try. 6 is amazing, and I'll be over the moon. But 7 is disappointing. There's no middle ground for me. There we go. Fair enough. Spurs are so excited to watch. Hurts me true. It is, and when we laughed about them, and then he's got a tune out of them. And he was leaving 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, weren't he? So he's got a tune out of him. So fair play. If that's a big if, we get beat Lyon, we'll be in the 7th heaven. I think Moyes is aware of this. No, totally. The team needs some Scott Parker level motivation speaking. Well, also, I wonder yesterday, Noble wasn't in the squad yesterday. And by all accounts, he wasn't feeling too, he had a bit of an illness. So maybe sometimes where you need that which we will miss, that sort of noble sort of motivational speaking. Maybe, I don't know. Are the Lingard Italian each just because he went there at the international break? Maybe, but also looking at how well Chris Smalling's done when he's been out there, and Tammy Abrahams as well. So we'll see. We've got a long thing to do. Cheers, Russ. Long video today. Not really, no, not a long one. Got stuck at a bearskin advert. Well, there we go. Good luck to you. If we by some miracle win the EU, we would knock Spurs. No, I don't think we will. Actually, I think we'd only do that if there's some other caveat. I think because we can have up to 5 spaces. I think in the Champions League. I don't think we knock Spurs out. I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think that's the case. I think there was if it's this and this and and this one and his dog at the left foot and there's all these sort of permutations. But I don't think we'd knock them out because we'd have 5 spaces, I think, as a maximum. So you'd have the 4 win, and I think it's if I think it's if there's someone in the top four wins the Champions League and he's not in the top four, and then West Ham won the Europa League, then that would be the case. I think. What are your thoughts on the Bell End? Oh, we all know it's ridiculous. Annoyed that the international breaks have knocked us stride, but they have all season, mate. All season. I'm just letting everyone talk. Hi, it's Peter C. We'll win in Lyon. There we go. Facts, says Peter. There we go. If both draws, Barcelona have been the exit team after West Ham, I just cannot picture West Ham versus Barcelona happening. Seems too surreal. It certainly does. Even my beautiful Zizi didn't much. Lanzini wasn't up for it as well. I enjoyed the post-match of Anton, but I'm still confused. Is Russ tiny or Anton big? Both. Spoon Russ if the check from drops out and win the that's what I meant. So if the Champions League winners don't get into the top four and then we win Europa, then fourth place doesn't get it. In my opinion, the atmosphere. In your opinion, was the atmosphere very different? It was. Sevilla was more celebratory. I think Lyon was very nervous. I think it's just the fact of how the game panned out because it's a first leg versus second leg. I don't think we really knew how to behave as a home team in that first leg. And so, yeah, very different. The Sevilla game was more, the crowd are really up for it. They will always be the 12. They knew, West Ham were up against it, and so that's why they were very different. It was a bit more subdued. I think you'd have when we get through to the semi-finals, we'll have the same issue, I think, as well. It'll be, and again, I think it'll be very different. Depends who we play. If we play Eintracht Frankfurt, I think we'll fancy our chances as a fan base. I think Barcelona will fancy them, but not as much as Eintracht Frankfurt. No respect to Eintracht Frankfurt, but and also they've knocked out some good teams as well. But that's the way I see it. I don't like the fact that Euro Semi is already made. Would have been better if we didn't know the opponent until we got through. No, I don't think so. I think it's better because for fans, they can plan where they have to go, and I think that's the trouble. It's usually the draw, and then it's like the mad rush to get everything sorted. But they can sort of plan it, and I'm sure there's people who already have bought tickets and flights to Frankfurt and to Barcelona and accommodation on booking.coms or whatever, and they've just cancelled it. I don't mind that, I'll be honest, because you can see your path, and so you know who you're going to play. I know it misses a little bit of the razzmatazz and excitement, who we're going to get the semis, but you can see the prize ahead of you. But that's just me. Antonio needs to be dropped. He can't even run, says Chris. Everyone talk about Barcelona. If put on the spot, I'd rather qualify for it next year than play Barca this year. Good. I mean, Barca literally just started to play good, didn't they? They beat Sevilla 2-0, didn't they? They beat Real Madrid 4-0. Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? We need to finish outside the top four, but win the Champions League, indeed. Rusty's tiny everywhere. I hope he is. I hope it is, mate. Not everywhere. Spot on autocorrect. Oh, we're not Spoon. There we go. Makes sense. Good day from Kieran. I'm going to shoot in a minute. Happy name day, Peachy, indeed. Lanzini said his car rolled over more than a sterling dive. Very good. This week could potentially be the biggest career needs. Yep, no, it is. It is morale. It is. It's a career defining. It's a season defining week, isn't it? Really. Didn't help with the Brentford game. But Thursday really is, isn't it? Because because then, if we win on Thursday and go through, it's all about Europa League. You've only got to win 3 games and you're in the Champions League. If you win 3 games, you're in the Champions League. That's it. After Thursday, including Thursday, win 4 games, you're in the Champions League. Now, you can't say that about the league, can you? You can't say if we win 4 games in our remaining Premier League games, we'll be in the Champions League. That won't happen. It's virtually impossible, I'd suggest. Whereas you can do that in Europa League. So I would be all out. And Ndombe needs a massage everywhere he goes. Rusty's turning it everywhere he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. The talk's gone playing with 10 men with a large chunk. It's no surprise that we pelted by confident, but we'll be firing Thursday. And I think you're right. I think with all that, with that Thursday game coming back and reflecting on it a little bit more, you're totally right. I think with so many sort of, positives you can take out of that game. It's still 0-0, and we played 10 men with 40, like a whole half of the game. They had to play they had to bring on Tete. They're a legally signed Tete. We're legal if it was in the Premier League. They had to bring on Kolo Kimbambi. They had to bring all these guys on, and they still really couldn't penetrate the game. I don't think Areola had many saves to make the whole game, really, despite that this really good attacking side. And someone made a good point. That for them it really is bust. It's Europa League or bust. So I think they're going to be absolutely crapping themselves. Everyone's to each other. Needs a strong, wise ref, as there'll be loads of dark arts on Thursday. Totally will. Win the Europa League, and I need to see Dawson versus Mbappe next year. Depends where he goes, isn't it? And Moyes gets us relegated next season. West Ham are rubbish everywhere they go. Yeah, exactly. We should buy Sterling if Pep don't want him. Yeah, just buy him, innit? Just buy him. Anyway, as I said, we'll have the Hammers headlines tonight. That will be 5 o'clock. We'll have a story about a couple of potential signings coming in, and a story about Danny Krajinski and all his money in Russia and stuff like that. Tomorrow night, we've got the Bobby Moore Appreciation Night. There we go. So that'll be myself and Martin and Shedman himself, Nigel Khan. We'll have the preview on Wednesday. We'll have hopefully a live link up with some fans out in Lyon on Wednesday night for that preview. We'll have the watch on Thursday. And then it's Good Friday, isn't it? Easter. Get your hot cross buns in the UK. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to a few days off. And then obviously, we start getting ready for the Burnley game. It's mental at the moment. Mental. We must dramatically improve on Sunday. We look very tired. Too small squad. Definitely. Brentford had 7 days to prepare for the game against us. That's what it comes down to. We had 1 day. And also, they just turned over Chelsea as well. So they're going to be absolutely buzzing, aren't they? Absolutely buzzing. Thank you very much. Did you watch the Liverpool game? Yeah, it was very good. A great advert for the Premier League, I thought yesterday was, with the Liverpool game. It was absolutely brilliant. All right, my ladies and gentlemen and friends, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Maybe become a channel member. We're doing the draw for the first channel members draw this week. So probably maybe tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday night. Maybe Thursday night. We're going to do it this week. So if you want to become a channel member and be entered into the first monthly draw, where we'll be winning, one lucky member will be winning a signed West Ham shirt, signed by all the squad. Hit the little join button and join. Whether it's the top tier or the top bottom tier, it doesn't matter. Everyone's entered in there, and we do that. We're going to be doing it every month from now on. So make sure you check that out. As always, I like to thank everyone on my channel, all of my lovely little channel members at the end of each of my shows. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. I'll see you at 5 o'clock for Hammers headlines. And ciao for now, my friends. Stay lucky, stay cheeky, and see you guys later.
It's like a family tree.